Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas. And it's time for Saturday Morning Blast Off. Welcome, everybody. I was looking at the timer there and it just wasn't working there for a second. I didn't know if it was recording or not. So there we go. All right. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and then we'll get down to the news. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. One of it is my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, hit that bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media on there and all the links to my pages on there. So this YouTube channel page, my Facebook page, and for those of you who else still have Facebook, a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. All right. Well, let's get to it, shall we? What is going on today? Well, there's actually been quite a bit of news going on today, or this week. Not a lot of news, but a lot of big news, I should say. So we got the teaser trailer. Well, it's also New York City Comic Con that's going on this weekend. So of course, there's stuff that's going to be popping up here and there. Um, I know that like Ghostbusters Afterlife had a sneak preview or actually a screening at New York City Comic Con. So it's the first screening, I believe, of that that's happened, which is kind of interesting. Well, it's not that far off. It's releasing next month, so it should be done at this point. Anyway, we also got a teaser trailer for season 6 of The Expanse. And we also got a date, a release date on that as well, which is December 10th. December 10th, season 6 of The Expanse premieres on Amazon Prime. Whether or not they're going to drop the first 3 episodes like they've been doing with most of their stuff and then just do an episode thereafter, I don't know at the moment. They haven't really announced that as of yet. I'm hoping they're just going to do an episode a week like they have been doing, which actually prolongs things, stretches it out. And I know they've been seeing better numbers that way too. And I know that they're um, scheduling, whoever's doing their scheduling, is actually following that at this point. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, Penn, especially where we left out. And I think this is the last season, if I remember correctly, for this storyline anyway. And then I know that it jumps ahead or something like that in the books. And I believe that's what they're going to do with the series as well. So this series ends here, and then we move it to another series, if you will, and have it done from there. So should be fairly interesting. But yeah, looking forward to that. The other news that just popped up too was that actress Jamie Clayton, who I believe is the L Word, is what she was on before. She is going to play. She's been cast, I should say, as the new Pinhead for the new Hellraiser reboot that is being produced by Clive Barker. So it's not, out of Clive Barker's hands. This is something that he is producing. And yes, they are doing a reboot of it. And now it's going to be a female Pinhead. So, honestly, the original movies, they're more campy for me than anything else. They have some good lines that classic lines. Your pain will be legendary even in hell, that kind of thing, and you know all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, I'm not swayed one way or another on this. I know there's a lot of people that are huge fans of this and might be dismayed, and I'm waiting to hear the tsunami of backlash about this because of why a woman can't be the new Pinhead, and why is it a reboot, and yada yada, wash, rinse, repeat. You've all heard the same story before, so yeah, we'll hear about it soon because I believe the news was just announced. Was it yesterday? It might have been yesterday. It might have been the day before. Let me actually take a quick peek and see what day it was actually released on because that's usually the indicator of who heard about it. Yeah, it was just released on Thursday. So and I think it was like Thursday night they actually put it out. So it's really no one ever saw it until Friday, until yesterday. So Raymond says, "Hey, I didn't get a notification. Luckily, I was already watching YouTube." All right. Well, yeah. I tried putting up in the community. So hopefully, if you're following my channel or subscribe to my channel, I'm hoping the community posting is actually popping up someplace. But I guess that's not even working now either. Thanks, YouTube. You suck. Um, yeah. So that's what ends up happening with YouTube. Sorry about that, Raymond. I try and Saturdays is the one that's actually kind of wishy-washy on my time. Um, because I'm trying to pull together the last minute news in the morning. So sometimes I'm late on that. Also, the dog, I have to, pay attention to her and all that kind of stuff too. And I got lots of different excuses I can use. So yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty much rarely ever on time on Saturdays. I'll own up to that one. So the other big news that we got was, and this is no surprise to anyone really, a spin-off of WandaVision is in the works over at Disney Plus, and it's going to be based on Agatha Harkness. Big surprise there. And it's going to be a dark comedy, is what they said it's going to be, which I have no surprise. I mean, it's Catherine Hahn as it is. She's a comedian. So of course, making it into a dark comedy makes sense. And then also it's gonna be on Disney Plus, where I guess they're trying to some things are family friendly, some things are just, middle of the road, I guess you could say. Yeah, that's what they should title it. Penn is Agatha all along. Who knows what they're gonna call it, but yeah, that would be the smart thing to do. Penn says there were always female Cenobites, but those people will still be up in arms. Yes, I agree with you. Yeah. Raymond says Catherine is great, but can she hold a series on her own? Yeah, I think she can. Especially given the Marvel writers that we've got going on right now. There hasn't been a bad Marvel series yet out there that's come on Disney Plus, and we've had what, 3 series now? We had WandaVision, we had Loki, and we had What If. And we're getting the next one, Hawkeye, in November. So that's all I'm saying is that, you know, none of these series have been bad at all. You could say a few episodes here and there were like, they're okay. They weren't horrible, but they were just okay. But that's a few episodes within the series themselves, but the series themselves have not been bad. Falcon and Winter Soldier, I forgot about that too. So yeah, we had actually 4. Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't know why I forgot about it, but I did. Raymond says I wasn't a big fan of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Even that wasn't bad. Yes, it wasn't the best of all the series, but it wasn't bad. And it moved along. It moved along everything in the MCU. Really, is what it did. You know why I don't think I was the biggest fan of, or not why it's the lowest one in the series for me is the lack of. I realize I like the magic stuff. I like uh the preposterousness of like what if that kind of stuff. I like that big spectacle kind of thing. And that's not what Falcon and Winter Soldier was. Falcon and Winter Soldier was a much more grounded series. And yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at on that one. Oh, what else do we have here? We got a teaser for the HBO Max series House of the Dragon, which is coming in 2022. I'm glad to see Matt Smith is actually getting some work finally. Um, he looks weird, but that's par for the course. We won't know what this series is going to be like, and of course, until it's released. And as long as D&D have nothing to do with it, the guys that were on Game of Thrones, we should be okay. Which honestly, they're off doing their own thing. I don't think they're involved in this one, so I think we should be all right. Raymond says, honestly, I'd rather have a series around Isaiah Bradley. Yeah, I don't know if audiences are ready for that, quite honestly, yet, Raymond. I am, but I don't think Disney wants to even touch that book at all, other than what they did uh, with Isaiah, where they kind of just skimmed over it a bit and like, yep, we're just gonna skim and go, or not even gonna talk about racism and experimentation on by the government and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they're not going to touch that one at all. They wouldn't touch that with a 5 meter cattle prod. Penn says the trailer looked pretty good, cautiously optimistic. I don't know. Penn, we got was a teaser on it, and you can make any teaser look pretty good. I mean, come on, look at episode 3 of Star Wars. That looked really good. So did episodes 7, 8, and 9. They looked really good as well. Oh, excuse me, not 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 7, 8, 9. Raymond says it's funny because Mickey is a. Oh no, God, Raymond, that's bad, 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 bad. Um, yeah. Um, on other news, November 24th, a Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City is going to hit theaters only. So, yeah. Um, I saw the trailer for it. Wasn't jazzed about it. I mean, I can wait till that thing comes out on, wait till it comes out on video. I think that should be fine. Yeah. So, um, sorry, I was just in the middle of doing some stuff here. Suicide Squad trailer was amazing. Movie sucked. What are you talking about? The which one? There's two different Suicide Squad movies. I actually liked the James Gunn version. I did not like the David Ayer version. I know David Ayer says that's not his version, it's actually the studio's version. And he wants to do a whole, release the Ayer cut and all that kind of stuff, which isn't going to happen. I think Warner Brothers is over that whole, let the fans decide thing and have a director's cut come out. So, yeah. I mean, they could do it on DVD or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, the Ayer movie, that's a studio cut. And Ayer even says that he disowns it, that it's not his cut. And he says his cut is better, which is, of course, what every single director says. And of course, the Snyder cut was really no better than the theatrical version. There was a few things here and there that, as far as I was concerned, were changed, but it was just a lot longer and a lot more boring. That's all it was. Oh, you're hyped about the Game of Thrones, yeah, House of the Dragon? Yeah. It'll be interesting to say the least. Yes, once in a while the director's cut is better than the theatrical cut, but it's very rare. It's like kind of Blue Moon kind of rare. Not even Blue Moon kind of rare. It is once in a billion years kind of rare that the director's cut is actually better than the original cut, the theatrical cut, if you will. Like, I know everyone says, "Oh, the Ridley Scott, Blade Runner, the director's cut is so much better than the theatrical cut." It just depends on who you ask, honestly. Art is subjective that way, unfortunately. So, yeah, November 24th, like I said, Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City hits theaters. Robbie Amell's in it, and I'm like, okay. Not really looking forward to it. So, yeah. But what I am looking forward to is on December 1st, the third and final season of Lost in Space premieres on Netflix. Um, yeah, this is actually a really good series. I like this series. It gets a lot of it gets forgotten a lot that it's out there. And it's actually a good sci-fi series. And I think it did Lost in Space, well. Um, that movie that happened in the 90s, no, no bueno. Not a good movie. There was parts of it that were interesting, but just it was, yeah, pretty bad. But this series actually, I think, captures Lost in Space fairly well, and they're not alone in this one. I mean, it's the entire colony, if you will, this time around that's actually lost in space, and I kind of dig that, to tell you the truth, where they've brought in more people instead of just the one family. Yeah, I mean, sure, the first season was the one family kind of lost, and the second season was the entire colony coming back together, and yeah. Um, what was that there? I'm just missing it. That's what I was thinking of. I really didn't think Blade Runner was better, but a lot of people do. Yeah, yeah. You didn't know I talked about what, Raymond? Blade Runner or Suicide Squad or Lost in Space? Penn says there was no 90s movies in my mind. Oh, come on. I still use there is one line out of that that I really like, that Matt LeBlanc says, where he's, the pilot, of course, of the Jupiter one. He goes, and the monkey pushes the button. Which is what I use when someone who is really overpaid to do something very, very minor that could have been done by anybody. And I'm like, really? You want me to do this? You're standing right there. You can do the exact same thing. And I just go, okay. And the monkey pushes the button. And I literally just, there we go. We're done. Oh, Lost in Space, right? Yeah, I did. I believe I've done a couple of Is It Worth My Times on Lost in Space, season one and season two. So yeah, I have actually, because I again, Netflix dumps them all at once, and it's hard to actually review episode by episode when the entire season gets dumped, because people, you guys out there, don't want to actually sit there and listen to me go episode by episode for a season that's already been dumped out. I know this for a fact because I've tried it before and I get shot down every single time I try it. So I don't do it anymore. And that's why I lump an entire season into a one, review, which sucks because it doesn't get anywhere near the love that it should on some things. But I give you guys what you want most of the time. Yeah. Anyway, Jake Gyllenhaal or Gyllenhaal, I can never. He actually has a way of that he pronounces it, and I couldn't get my mouth to do that if I was trying. Jake Gyllenhaal is going to play Rob Liefeld's, there we go, Prophet in a live action movie. Now, if you've never heard of Prophet, lucky for you. Prophet is actually a 90s comic book character that Liefeld had done back in the 90s, of course. And this was during the whole speculator market where comic book prices just jumped completely, and people were coming in from Wall Street, because remember, Wall Street had crashed at that point in 89. So a lot of people came into comic books to use those as junk bonds, if you will, and drove up the prices dramatically on a lot of comics. Prophet being one of them. Prophet was just a shit comic. It really was. It was a shitty comic, and it's going to be made into a movie. Um, Live action movie, and Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be in it. So, or he's going to star as the lead character. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Penn, for putting that up there. Is it worth my time? But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Prophet. If I remember correctly, I think Prophet was done just before Deadpool. And I think that was kind of like there was a whole bunch of Rob Liefeld. There we go. Liefeld characters. Liefeld. There we go. Liefeld characters that he created within this short span of time that all look alike. And so Prophet and Shatterstrike, which is in Deadpool 2, by the way, look exactly the same. They look like they're the exact same character with the exact same skill set. Uh, so that's why I kind of joke about his stuff that's out there because it's all homogenized. And I mean, Deadpool has turned into a different character now and is much better than when he was first created. I'm just gonna say that flat out. And yeah, ever since they started doing the whole, breaking the fourth wall, making him a bit snarkier, of course, things of that nature, that's when he became better. But again, other characters have done that before him. I mean, you have Batmite, you have Ambush Bug, Obnoxo the Clown. Those are all precursors to Deadpool, his personality, if you will. Um, So yeah, I mean, it's not the first time it's been done. It won't be the last time it's been done. Even She-Hulk back in the 80s would break the fourth wall all the time and talk to the audience, knowing that they were there. And that was during the John Byrne years when he did She-Hulk. There's actually a famous comic cover of She-Hulk, and I want to say it's like She-Hulk #1, where she goes, "Buy this comic, or I'm going to go to your house and rip up all your X-Men." And she's got a X-Men comic in her hand that she's getting ready to rip. So yes, that's breaking the fourth wall. Foundation has been renewed for a second season at Apple TV Plus, to no one's great surprise. Again, there isn't enough content on Apple TV Plus for them to warrant canceling shows. That they canceled the Joseph Gordon-Levitt sitcom that he was in, because one, they didn't promote it at all. I didn't even know that thing was out. And two, that they canceled it after the first season because no one watched it because no one knew it existed, was kind of a surprise because they don't have that much stuff to begin with. Um, so yeah, but yeah, Foundation has been renewed for a second season. So all of you out there who are watching it, Raymond, I think you're watching that, right? And you said the last episode was pretty good. But yeah, it's no surprise that it got a second season off of this. There was something interesting that I found on the YouTubes. On November 25th, the animated, I don't know if it's a movie or if it's a show, called Super Crooks hits Netflix. It's a Japanese show, movie, whatever it is, and it's about a super criminal who gets released from prison. And he says, "Yep, I'm going straight. I'm not going to do anything. Bye, see you." And of course, immediately as soon as he escaped, or as soon as he gets released, he puts together a super crew and decides to commit a whole bunch of robberies and stuff like that. And it's supposed to be kind of like a heist movie or a heist show. Either way, it's like Ocean's 11 only with superheroes or super crooks, and of course, superheroes are involved as well. So yeah, it looks interesting though. So I'm gonna watch it just because it looks kind of interesting. Raymond says, "Oh my god, the narration and it kills it, but the story is great." Interesting. I think I attempted to read Foundation way back when, Isaac Asimov's Foundation. Oh, I want to say in either junior high or high school. I think it was high school, and I couldn't get into it. I couldn't, and I stopped. So yeah, there was a time and place where I used to read like at least 3 books a week. I mean, all of these books up here, yes, I have read them. I know people go, "Oh, have you actually ever read it?" No, I've read all these books that are here and the ones that are in my room. I just haven't read any books lately. It's kind of sad, but yeah, the truth of it is. So, but yeah, Super Crooks looks like it's gonna be kind of fun. So the last thing I've got for you guys is more of a rumor than anything else, but it's a fairly good rumor. Marvel India deleted a tweet where they actually confirmed that the new Blade movie, the one with Ali that's starring Ali, is scheduled for an October 7th, 2022 release date. That's right, October 7th, 2022. Now, originally, um, it wasn't supposed to be released until 2024 from what we understand. And yes, I know a rumor pen, but the thing is, it's Marvel India. Marvel India is reputable. Bloody Disgusting was the one that caught it for Marvel India. And so it's a tweet that's deleted, and I'm like, okay, that's fairly good right there. That, as far as I'm concerned, is better than your average rumor. It's not from your sister's cousin's dog's boyfriend's former college roommate's housekeeping driver who is the dog walker of your parents, cockatoo. Cockapoo. Because a cockatoo is a bird, and you're not going to be walking a bird. At least a dog walker wouldn't. But I don't know if you could follow that whole line. That was a long line of people in order to get that rumor through, but that's not what this was. This was, through an actual tweet. So, yeah. That's all I got for you guys, honestly, news-wise. There hasn't been a lot. Mark Raymond says, I heard a rumor that Marvel isn't cinema. Yeah. Was that from Scorsese? Or who is it that's putting out a movie this week that needs some extra press that decides to go, superhero movies suck. Watch my movie because it's not getting any press because it sucks. Yeah. I'm sorry, where did that Scorsese movie that came out where he was railing against superhero movies, where did it go to? Oh, that's right. No one cares. That's right. That's what happened. No one cares about the new Scorsese movie. It disappeared. And I'm a fan of Scorsese. Don't get me wrong. But the last couple of movies of him have been like just garbage, quite honestly. You gonna do Squid Game? Everyone keeps asking me that. Possibly, Raymond. Depends on if I can get my shit together or not this weekend. I got a lot of stuff going on this weekend, honestly. I really do. And plus I'm getting my third vax shot tomorrow, and we'll see how things play out. So, you know, side effect, no side effect, we don't know. Yeah. I got stuff I need to do this weekend, That's what my weekends are for too, is I need to get my other stuff done. But we'll see. I'll know better. Well, I probably won't know better until like Monday or so. But that's a perfect segue into what do I have going on the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow I'm not gonna do spoiler alert. I just got too much stuff going on tomorrow, so I'm gonna cancel spoiler alert for tomorrow. Monday is gonna be Why the Last Man. Excuse me. Tuesday is gonna be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? It might be Squid Game. We'll find out what happens there. Wednesday, I'll be off because there's nothing on Wednesday. Thursday will be Doom Patrol. Friday, I'll be off. And then Saturday, we roll back around again with Saturday Morning Blast Off. Yeah. I might be competing in the Squid Game. You never know. How's Pepper? She's doing good. That's what I'm looking over at. She's just sitting over there. I talk about her every now and then. She's just being, she's sleeping right now. Yes, I will be doing Dune when Dune comes out. Dune doesn't come out till the end of this month, I believe is when it is. Let's take a look at the schedule. If you go to suspendedfanimation.com, I have a good what's coming up schedule. Majority of stuff on there. I need to add now the Expanse to it and a couple other things, but still, I've got under future stuff there. So Dune comes out on October 22nd. which means the Tuesday after that is when I'm going to be doing that, which will be the 26th. The 26th will be when I do Dune. Dune. Yes. Yes, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that's gonna be coming out. I mean, I'm looking at this. November is gonna be nuts. November is just gonna be absolutely nuts. I mean, we have the Eternals coming out on the 5th, Hit Monkey on the 17th, Cowboy Bebop, The Wheel of Time, and Ghostbusters 3 Afterlife all coming out on the 19th. Hawkeye is coming out on the 24th. So that's just November. That's just ridiculous. It really is. Raymond says, "Oh, The Expanse. I'm so happy. This is the last season." Yep, this is the last season. Correct, Raymond. Yep, it is. And again, like I said, I think so. I know the books jump ahead. I've heard from other people. I haven't read them myself. And I think that is what the plan is on Amazon is they are going to end this particular series and they're going to start another Expanse series. They would be stupid not to. I mean, they're getting more money off of this than they know what to do with. Jeff Bezos is making another rocket ship from all the money that he's making off the money off of this thing. That and the boys. And no, we haven't heard when season 3 of the boys is coming out yet. I do know that Derek Robertson is at New York City Comic Con this weekend. I've been seeing him on Twitter, talking about that. As a matter of fact, I bought his new book. Well, it's not his new book. It's been out for a little while called Space Bastards. And so yeah, if you go and take a look, and I get no money off of this, by the way. It's just he's a good artist. He's a great creator. Space Bastards is if you look at it on Twitter, they have a Twitter link up there, and you can buy the hardcover volumes. They have volumes 1 and 2 right now available for Space Bastards. You can get it for $30 unsigned, $35 signed by everyone who's there. And then I think it runs out to like 40 some odd dollars, with shipping and handling and all that kind of stuff. So, and it's just as perverted as the boys. So go for it. I bought the first volume just to see what that was all about. Since I kept seeing it over and over and over again in my feed, and I'm like, all right, I'll buy it. Yeah, I'm ready for more of the boys as well. And I don't think we're gonna get that until next year. I think the beginning of next year is where we're gonna get that. Because yeah, season 2 came out. Was it the beginning of this year? I can't remember when season 2 of The Boys released, and there's just one way of finding out. The Boys season 2 release date. There we go. Oh, actually, no, that came out September of 2020. Holy shit. Okay. Wow. So that came out September of 2020. Who knows? Maybe we might be getting it soon. Hmm. That could be interesting. Although with COVID and everything, maybe they delayed it a little bit too, and maybe it's the beginning of next year. I don't know. We'll find out. Raymond says, any Oscar-worthy movies this year for you so far? Wow. That's you're asking me this? Oscar-worthy movies? Um, I don't know if I've watched anything that's Oscar-worthy, to tell you the truth, Raymond. Um, I still stand by my statement that Cruella is the best movie I've seen this year. Yeah. It just pretty much has everything dialed in really fucking tight, and it's a good story. It's got good music, great acting, and great visual effects. Everything is all on point on that. And it's one of those movies that you can go back and watch again and actually find more stuff in it. I don't know, that's actually my favorite movie so far this year. And yes, it's a Disney movie, I know. And that's even over the Marvel movies at this point. But that's so far. I mean, we still have a couple of months left before the, end of the year here. So we'll see. And yes, I'll be watching Dune from home on HBO Max. I'm not going to a theater to watch it. Um, I might end up seeing the James Bond movie. That might be a go. I don't know as of yet. We'll see. So yeah, there's a few things out there. But yeah, like I said, there's just so much stuff going on this weekend that it's just too much, honestly. Raymond says, I think my best was No Sudden Move, but I wouldn't consider it Oscar worthy. Yeah, No Sudden Move was great. It was a good movie, but yeah, I don't consider that Oscar worthy. I'm sure it's going to be up for contention just because of all the people that were in it, but I don't consider it really an Oscar worthy movie. It was an interesting movie, and the subject matter was really interesting too. Once you find out what the whole subject matter is, because you never know what it is that they're after until the very end of the movie, and then you're like, oh, that's what it's all about. And I'm not going to spoil it for anybody here, but yeah, and you find out that it's something that really did kind of happen in a way. Not the story itself, but the suppression of what it is that they were after. Yeah. So yeah. And again, that was written by Ed Solomon, one of the guys who wrote Bill and Ted's Excellent one of the creators, I should say, of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Um, yeah. So, that was how I found out about the movie because he was writing the script, and, I follow him on Twitter, and he just happened to mention something about it, that he had sold it and everything, and then he was on set for some of it, and yeah, that's how you hear a lot about these things. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, no spoiler alert tomorrow. I'm going to be canceling that, unfortunately. Like I said, there's just too much to do in the day, and I don't have enough clones of me in order to do things, quite honestly. I wish I did. If I had a few more clones of me, I'd actually probably be able to get half the shit done that I need to get done and be able to clean my place at the same time. You know, to be that would be a joy. Anyway, enough of me bitching. I think I'll let you guys go for the day. Thank you to everybody who joined me today in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. One of the videos in my vast video library and pops up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you want to know when I'll be on live again next, hit that bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do, go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule up there. I change it every week. Also, I have these links to all my social media and all the links to my pages as well. Hey, thanks, Raymond. You didn't need to do that. Penn says clones or 28-hour day. No 28-hour days. Clones would be a lot better, especially like short-lived clones. That could only be around for like 12 hours or something like that, and then you dissolve into a puddle of goo or something like that. Not a puddle of goo because then you'd have to create another clone to clean that up. Maybe they just evaporate. Yeah, I think that would work. There might be a market in that somewhere. All right, everybody. Thank you. I'm going to let you guys go for the day. I will see you again on Monday for Why the Last Man. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may realize you just don't have enough clones of yourself in the day in order to do all the shit that you need to do, and you're pretty much screwed. So, yeah. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Monday. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots. Take care out there and stay safe, everyone. Thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your weekend.